sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. On the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I consider impossible is losing. I've been waiting on the sidelines for a long time. Now I'm finally getting in the game. It's about time. This is my time. This is my time. The only thing I
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to TDPHINSTALK, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. We got a freaking talk right now. I'm gonna dive right in because I ain't got time for it. My brain is spinning a million miles an hour. I'm not finna get into this sources say or none of that crazy crap. I'm just gonna straight up come out and tell you exactly what was told to me less than 10 minutes ago. Ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I don't even know where to freaking start. I don't even know where to start. This front office is literally having a serious conversation about extending Tua Tagovailoa long term now. Led by what was told to me, Mike McDaniel, who is all on board for it, but there are other people in the organization that are like it's suicide. And not suicide because they don't believe in Tua, but you can't take those kind of risks. But Mike McDaniel is the main advocate And Chris Grier actually considering all options on the table at this time. And let me tell y'all something. I know when Chris Grier said previously, all options are on the table. When they asked him about a Tua Tagovailoa fifth-year option or extension, Grier was very adamant on, all options are on the table. Extensions, fifth year. He said all of that, but you're supposed to say all of that. You know what? This is where I take a stand. I'm usually trying to be in the middle and say, if it happens, just letting you know. If it don't happen, just letting you know. But this is where I take a stand. If Chris Grier does this, he doesn't care about this team's future. He does not care about this team's future. Oh my gosh, just the thought. Just the thought. Just the thought of this. If he does this, he does not care about this team's future. It is like, have you ever seen a bigger gamble in your life? Do y'all understand when you talk about a long-term extension, we are talking 5-6 years. We're talking about locking a player up to where it's 2028, 2029, and you can't get out of it until 2027. Can you imagine them doing this? Can you imagine them doing this and it doesn't work out? Greater heads need to prevail and use common sense. You got him on the fifth-year option. He's happy. And you know what? When he said this to me, I knew what it was all about. It's about the money. It's about the money. I get it, but no, not in this situation. I get it, but not in this situation. I can understand Herbert and Burrow is about to set the market greater than Hurts probably, but they're about to set the market. And if Tua does ball out next year, he's going to set the market, and it's going to be way more expensive than doing a deal now. But either way, the price tag is too large regardless. Well, like, I can't imagine. Now, if we talking about, hey, Tua, we want to give you a 5-year, $100 million contract extension. That's a different story. $60 million guaranteed. That's a different story. That's a whole different story. Whole different story. That's $20 million a year. Give him guarantees. So if he suck or not, we ain't on the hook for no crazy 150 guaranteed and all of that. I cannot believe what I just heard. And I've been the main one around here preaching, coming back at these Tua years. Well, Herbert and Burrow getting their extension this year. Is Tua? No. But just to even know that they're considering it is ridiculous. Injuries. How can you consider? How can you consider something like that when you got a guy who ain't played a full season in the NFL yet? This is ridiculous. At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I personally know that greater heads will prevail. I think what's happening now, they're exploring every option to try to free up cap space, because I understand if you sign them on an extension now that's cheaper, then you are freeing up a lot of cap space and you have more flexibility and wiggle room with his long-term contract. But regardless, Tua ain't taking no 5-year, $100 million contract. At this point, even he know he got to bet on himself because it could be a $250 million contract for all we know. Maybe even greater. Maybe even greater, man. Just to even hear this I swear to y'all. Maybe they're just checking boxes. Hey, what would an extension look like? Let's weigh the pros and cons. Yeah, we're not going to do it, but let's wait out. Maybe. But just to even hear that this is being discussed is sickening to me. Grier has already hid all his mistakes, and that would be the nail in the coffin for me. I'm sorry. Now don't get me wrong. He do it. It's stupid, but if it work out, then he a genius. But I can care less at this point. Shut up, Tyson. Master at work in here talking crazy. 5 year, $550 million. Yeah, that's what Mac Jones gonna get, and you're gonna be stuck with him. How about that? Scandala with the donation, man, said, bro, just the thought of having to endure this QB for the next 5 years is making my blood boil. I just can't do it anymore. Bro, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. I was just finna say, listen, if they gave him an extension this offseason, I'd shut my channel down. But they done already showed me to be incompetent in so many areas. First of all, let me get something straight, because sometimes maybe it just be me. Maybe I'm the biggest hater in the world. Let me put the poll in the comment section. Would you extend Tua Tagovailoa right now? Let me put this in the comment section. Let me get y'all to vote, because maybe I'm just tripping. And before I even post it, let me be fair for a second, because I ain't gonna be fair in this situation. I'm not gonna be fair. No, this is ridiculous. But let me be fair for a second. Doing it now gives you all the flexibility in the world. It'll allow you to go ahead and pay people like Christian Wilkins, Zyler, and things like that. It gives you more wiggle room to move money in the future. I get it, and you're gonna save a bunch of bucks if he turns out to be that dude, and you'll be a genius. But if he fails, if he Baker Mayfield's this thing, Kyler Murray's this thing, we are screwed for years to come. Just keep that in mind. Let me put it. I just put it in the comment section. Maybe it's me. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts? Brian Moore said, bro, this your crowd. Of course they hate Tua too. I'm not sure what you're talking about. If they offered him a contract at 35 a year guaranteed, I'd take it in a heartbeat. Injury discount. But John Spears, you would be committing to a 5 or 6 year situation with maybe over 100 million guarantees, which locks in maybe 3 years. And if he bombs this year, you got the best roster talent that you could have, and you stuck with it for 2 more years even after that. You would take that in a heartbeat, even 35 mil a year? And 75% of y'all said no. 76, about 25 said yes. Wow. I want to hear from some of the people who would do it now. I'm about to drop the link. Hopefully some of y'all are some brave souls. You ain't got a cam up. You just come on and chat with me. Talk to me. What's on your mind? What would make you do it now? What would make you do it now? I just posted it. I just posted the link. What would make you do it now? I pinned it at the top of the comment section. Please, hopefully some of y'all, can come on and talk to me, man. Quick question. Do you save money this year if they do give him an extension? You could do whatever you want. You have the ultimate flexibility this year, next year, the year after. Hey, Keena, how are you?
What's up? I'm cool. I'm cool. I would
What's up,
probably
man?
do it for the right price though.
What's the right price?
Um, it sure wouldn't be no 100 mil a year.
What happened?
It wouldn't be no 100 mil a year. I know that
Well,
much.
well, nobody's getting 100 million a year. The going rate for his age and great play is 50 million a year. So what's the price that you would do it right
I mean,
now at?
oh, 50 mil. Well, shit, I'll probably do it for I'll probably do it for a good 20, 25 mil.
Yeah, but he ain't taking that.
I mean, but at the end of the day, like I was just saying in the chat, if he accepts extension right now, that's just telling you even more that he know he's not going to get paid anywhere else.
Mm. And accepting it now mean he ain't betting on himself either.
Exactly. Point. Cause I could ball out and get paid more, but I'm gonna go ahead and sign a contract now because it's a safe option, just in case I don't do it.
Wow. I hear you. For the right price, I mean that kind of price, I would even, look into it, but I just don't think he would at that price. I appreciate you coming through, homie.
And then, yeah, yep, no problem.
Oh, you had something else to say? I got you, Sean. Oh, he already gone. All right, Sean, what's up,
Hey,
man?
what's going up, DD? How's the kid?
Great, man. But listen, you're gonna have to talk to me about this. Would you do it?
I mean, I've been a fan since Marino was here, and I'm just saying, like, worst case, we do it. We make a deal. We cut a deal with them. We have solid backup quarterbacks. We got that guy from the draft. I forget what his name was, but he was really good for Florida State. Worst case, we move Tua to second string. If he gets hurt this season, we can move him to second string and then take that Florida State guy, put him right at starting quarterback, and take a shot on him, and then see where we go from there. But I mean, if we could get him for a good deal, I would do it for that reason only, and then have
But,
Tua as a solid backup.
but what's a good deal?
I think 35 million a season, 40.
Like you understand that's like a 6-year, $100 million contract.
Right. I mean, and I think he earned that with all his stats, with first place, with his stats. I'm going by stats, not by from him getting hurt. I understand what you're saying. That's a big risk with him always getting hurt. I understand what you're saying. He never completed the whole season, but that boy's putting up numbers like better than Hurts. But I mean,
but he's not. You're talking about a rate, not
right.
actual real. That's like
rating, right?
Yeah, that's like me playing one game and I
Right.
throw one pass and it's a touchdown, and I have the highest quarterback rating in the NFL. So all of a sudden, I'm putting up numbers greater than Mahomes and Hurts now.
I would say he can compete with Mahomes. He can definitely compete with Mahomes. I've seen him do it.
You haven't seen him compete with Mahomes in the playoffs where it matters most.
No, not in the playoffs. But I'm
that's
saying
all
like
that matters, right?
right, yeah.
I mean,
But I'm saying
there's
like,
a lot of people who've competed with Mahomes in the regular season.
I mean,
But in the playoffs,
let's look at Skylar Thompson, that playoff game last year. Okay, it came down to that last play. Remember?
Yeah.
And what's his name? McDaniel's thinking it's freaking fourth down, or no, first down. It was fourth down. So I don't put that blame on Skylar for that play, because that was all McDaniel and the guy upstairs, calling the plays in, and he was thinking it was first down, it was fourth down, and that's why we lost the game. That wasn't on Skylar, that was on McDaniel all day long. But I'm saying, like, Tua got us to a certain point in that season where we made the playoffs, and then Skylar came in and finished it off. I think we could have won that game if McDaniel didn't make that bonehead play. And I mean, right, here we go again. Grier and McDaniel getting ready to make a bonehead play if they sign him on a long-term deal. But we got to make sure with the stipulations in that contract, if he goes down this season and gets hurt, we could move him to second string.
Yeah, but you're going to have a backup quarterback making $35 million a year.
Yeah, but I'm saying at least, with our if we can get Dalvin Cook and somehow manage to get Dalvin, that's going to secure the offense. And then no matter who's that quarterback, whether it be Tua next season or that I forget what his name is. Do you know what his name is? That quarterback we got from Florida State? I can't remember what his name was.
Who we got? You mean the fourth string?
Yeah.
No, like I said, I wait.
We got him from Florida State.
Yeah, but he ain't do nothing. He ain't did nothing yet.
Right, but I'm saying he could be a good possibility for next season. Just like what's his name, Uzakama. Yeah, he's going to be up and rising this season.
Yeah, but until you get on that NFL field and do something, it doesn't even matter. But
I'm saying if we can get him at like $35 million, I would say jump on it, and if he gets hurt this year, we got to solve. I really have faith in what's his name? I'm having horrible with names today. Jesus, excuse me. I almost said Osweiler. It's not Osweiler. Who played in the playoff game last season? I just said his name before. Oh my God, the backup quarterback. Skylar, yes. If it comes down to it, I would feel comfortable with Skylar at the helm. I really would. Skylar's got it. He's got size. He's like a Josh Allen type. He can run. I mean, and with our offense, it doesn't always got to be up to him. We can put faith in our running game too, worst case. But I mean, if Tua goes down this year, I mean, if his karate didn't fix it, as everybody was saying with the karate, but if that didn't fix it, worst case, we move him to second string next season, and we just make a quarterback change at quarterback and put Skylar in at the helm as first string, move him right up.
Interesting. I just don't see him being a backup making that kind of money. It's just a move.
But I'm saying he's not gonna care as long as he stays on the team because he got his house down there. He'll be making $35 million a season, and he'll be a backup quarterback. And it won't be the team's fault because we don't have it set in stone where he's going to be the starter next season if he gets hurt this year.
But we don't have time to play. We want to. I mean, if it doesn't work out, you want a legitimate guy. You want a guy who's ready to win it all now.
I guarantee you, Skylar can go in there and get us into the Super Bowl. There's no doubt in my mind. With the offense we got, if we get Dalvin.
Until he proves it, though, I mean, I get it. But I appreciate you, Sean, coming through. I got some more people.
All right, man. God bless the family, and have a nice 4th of July holiday.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. We got Glenn and Brandon coming up. Glenn, talk to me, man. What's going on?
Hey, first of all, you have to realize if they do extension, that won't even take effect for 2 years from now. That extension wouldn't even start. So if you do a 5-year, you're talking 29 or 30. Well, 29 or 30.
But they can start manipulating the money. That's the benefit.
But they could start manipulating the guaranteed money.
Yeah, exactly.
And paying it through. And that's how a lot of plays. That's why they pay them so early, so they can manipulate the guarantee. But here's why I would. If I was Miami, I'd try to get them on the best deal that I could right now. Because first of all, let's just say he doesn't play good this year, and then next year he plays okay and stuff. We like we've been doing. Problem is in 3-4 years, we're going to be too good to get a top 5, top 6 quarterback. You just ain't gonna get that. Nobody's trading Tua for nobody.
So you go ahead and give him the big money extension now.
But if I was Tua, there ain't no way I'm signing. There's no way I'm signing no $30-40 million contract.
Really? Even 35?
No. Why? If I ball out this year, I get a $51-55 million.
But if you don't?
If I'm Tua, most with this team, Tua's thinking in the back of his mind, man, I can have me some great numbers that matches anybody and stuff. All I have to do, remember, everybody says, well, in Miami, If Miami could stay healthy, they win the division.
Yeah, but then a lot of teams say that though, Glenn.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if I'm Tua, I wouldn't sign. No way. Why? Why make Miami? I would hold off.
Yeah, but if he has another major injury, then he gets nothing.
Okay, but if he still gets $23 million, and if he has another major injuries, he's probably out the NFL anyway.
Yeah, but isn't that a reason why you may want to bet on?
But I'm too. That's what I'm saying. I did all the lifting. I did all the things. I got to take the thing that I've been hurt 5 years in a row for, pretty much 5 years in a row. God damn, I got to make it 1 year.
Yeah, I hear you, man.
Yeah. If I'm Tua, I'm just not signing. I'm just gonna wait until after this year and then see where it is. Because with this team, he should be able to put up to close to 5,000 yards, get close to 35, 40 touchdowns. And then now we're talking not no 40, 34, 40 million. You're talking, you don't come to me with $50 million at least.
Wow. This is tough, man.
You see what I'm saying? If I'm Tua, I'm not signing. There's no way.
So now we went from, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're even considering it, to if you're Tua, you wouldn't even sign a 35, 40 million.
No. That's chump change in 2 years.
Yeah, but it's everything if you get hurt again.
I'm going off this year. I'm playing my ass off. I'm staying in shape. I'm staying on that field, and I'm getting my numbers.
That sound good.
Hey, you got to take a risk sometimes. Now, if he balls out this year and we look back at him, who got screwed over if he signed a 35, 40 million contract and he gets close to 5,000 yards, 35 touchdowns,
he gets
and
screwed
stuff
over.
like that. Yeah, he's getting screwed over. Why would I do that?
But that's a win for us.
Yeah, I'm saying if I'm Tua, there's no way I'm signing. I don't do like Matt did.
Man.
Remember for Atlanta?
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan. He bet on himself and what happened.
Oh my gosh. You scare me.
So why do it? I got this contract plus 20. I know. Only thing that is hurting me, if I'm Tua, is my health. And he put a lot of meat on himself, and he did stuff to prepare himself so that he could take more of the hits. Now, if he learns how to slide and know how to go down instead of extending a play, you take precautions, you could stay in longer.
Man,
you could play for the whole season. A quarterback getting hurt, yes, it does happen, but it's more preventable now than it was in the past.
Man, they said
so why?
They said 10-year, $500 million.
I'm telling you, I wouldn't sign if I was Tua. Why sign? That's stupid.
Oh, man, you shocking me right here, man. Barrington Francis, man, just became a member with the GOAT status. Salute to you. Appreciate the love for the channel, man. As always, thank you so much.
Okay. I know you got other people coming on and stuff. I just wanted to tell you that if I'm the Dolphins, I would try to sign him just because I hate to see if he stays healthy this year and gets those numbers, we robbed his butt. Now, yes, the downfall is if he's shitty, then we're stuck with the contract. But by that time, by the third season, by 2027, you probably could get out of it.
That's a long time from now, Glenn.
Yeah, but it's a long rebuild if he fails anyway. Either way, it's a long rebuild.
I guess you got a point there, man. Appreciate you coming through, man.
Yep. Okay.
All right.
Talk to you later. Appreciate it. Bye.
All right. I'm trying to get to everybody backstage, just one at a time. Brandon's up. Pete, you're next. Brandon, talk to me, man.
Hey, what's going on, my brother? First off, man, I'll go ahead and say Happy Father's Day. I know it was yesterday. But
Thank you, man.
the job doesn't end. You know, we got to be fathers every day. So salute to
Absolutely.
you, my brother. Hey, I will say, you know, go ahead and sign them.
Mm.
They say scared money don't make money. High, high risk, high reward. You look at it this way, okay? Let's jump to Joe Burrow real quick. Burrow has shown that he could be a franchise quarterback. He's led his team to the Super Bowl, but injuries can happen to anybody at any given time. They can sign Joe Burrow right now to a $60 million contract, and then next year he goes out and break a leg, and then could be done for a year or two, or a career-ending injury. It happens. Right now we're in a position to where you take that risk because I'm pretty sure they're seeing stuff that we're not. You take that risk with Tua. You get Tua for 40 million, 35 million, whatever the case may be, and that right there is a win. A win-win for both. I mean, hell, Tom Brady been taking discounts forever at the wing. So
Yeah, but what if you don't want a discount?
okay, well, let's put it this way. They offer Tua, let's say, okay, right now, Tua, we want to give you 40 million for 5 years or whatever. We would love to give you the 50 million, but right now, we got a slight concern with the injury history.
That ain't ain't got nothing to do with me. I want 50 million.
Okay, well, how about this then? You know what? We could just come back at this. We come in and ask and have this conversation at a later time.
I wanted this off season, and you ain't getting no discounts later.
Hey, unless you prove it that you can go, you can have a year to where that you're not only just healthy and available, but that you have made progress. Because to me, I feel like he's made slight progress each and every year, and I really think that this is going to be the year that he really shows he could be that franchise quarterback. And Mike McDaniel, the staff is doing the little things to help make sure that with the cameras, you know, surrounding him with the best talent. So I mean, yeah, it's a risk there, but man, we take risk every day in life.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I don't want to get too in depth into it because I know we don't have the time for that. So I'm just trying to keep it short and sweet. You look at it this way. If you don't give him the discount, if you don't give it to him right now, he does ball out. Now you're looking at to where, okay, man, we could have saved ourselves $10-15 million a year.
Here's the issue. Okay. Here's the issue. I think that a lot of us have gotten so lost in what a franchise quarterback is that makes the max amount of money. Like every quarterback shouldn't set the market unless you're doing historical stuff. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
And this is where the problem is.
Unfortunately, it don't work like that.
It does, though. It does work that way.
Okay, all right. You say it works that way. How about this? What's Mahomes making right now?
Let me look it up again. Wasn't it like 50 million a year or something like that?
Okay. What's Hurts making right now?
50 million, 51 or something.
Do you think they both on the same level? How about this? Let's
Why
switch.
not? Hold on. I mean, of course, Mahomes has the consistency of doing it over and over and over, but Hurts is younger and got so much room to grow and already doing what he's doing. So, I mean, he's on Mahomes' trajectory.
Yeah, but like you say, you the show and tell person. So
he 45, by the way, 45.
So there you go, 45 compared to 50. So he's making more than Mahomes. Let's put it like this. Let's go back to the guy that I mentioned earlier, Tom Brady. How many quarterbacks that have made more money than Tom Brady over the years, but have even put up a tenth of what Tom Brady produced?
Well, okay. Let me also say this, though. What really matters in these contracts is pretty much like the guaranteed money. So I get what you're saying as far as it keeps going up and it keeps going up. But every bubble bursts, bro. Look at the running backs right now, burst. The receivers are probably going to be next. The bubble's going to burst. Even the quarterbacks, they're going to burst.
Oh man, I just don't think I don't think that
Daniel Jones got 40.
I don't think the quarterbacks would ever burst. I think the way they look at the quarterbacks. And what I'm saying is now you're having the Jalen Hurts, the Patrick Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons. You see where I'm going with this? The Deshaun Watsons of the worlds that's wanting the more max contracts versus back then you had the Marinos, the Peyton Mannings, the Tom Brady's type quarterback.
But we're missing one factor in this. You see, we're glancing over the biggest factor in all this. Look at all the people you just named. Don't put Tua in comparison with them.
Well, you got to start somewhere, though.
No, you don't start by having contract conversations of what they are doing.
Okay, look, nobody knew what Tom Brady was going to be when he first came out here. He was a 7th round pick. He had to put in a work.
No, well, there's more to Tom Brady's story, though, because
let's use Drew Brees then. Drew Brees had to put in the work. He had injuries coming out the gate.
Yeah. But again, we're comparing Tua to Drew Brees.
Well, that was a comparison at one point. If you go, their first couple of years in the NFL there's a comparison there.
There was only a comparison because of height, and he didn't start out the greatest. I get that.
Exactly.
But Drew Brees, everybody already saw the intangibles of what he was going to be.
No. I don't think that's true.
So hold on. So you're saying that he was just a bum for 3 years, and then nobody believed him that he could be good?
I wouldn't say nobody believes him. Obviously, somebody believed him, just like somebody believes in Tua.
But again, you're talking about Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes, Herbert, Burrow. Where does Tua come close to them? Where does he even come close to being the same contractual conversation as them?
Well, the part of it, we don't know the full story because Tua hasn't played a full year. But when he has been on the field, he has showed signs. You can compare his stats to really any of those quarterbacks. But I'm gonna use Hurts for an example, since that's Bama boy or whatever. The touchdown ratio to the touchdown to interceptions wasn't too far off. Their receiving
the what wasn't what?
The touchdown to interception ratio.
Okay.
They weren't too far off from each other.
Mm-hmm.
the passing yards.
But here we go once again, right? I guess it's hard to even say that because of the difference in teams. Okay, the way that they run their teams. Jalen Hurts this year had a higher completion percentage. Yeah, he threw for 3,700 yards, but they also have designed runs. I mean, do you know how many rushing yards he had?
Yeah, he had quite a bit. I want to say probably about 500 to 600 yards.
Let me see, because I don't know. Let me check that out real quick. This year, Jalen Hurts had. Yeah, I gotta see this real quick. Yes, passing, rushing, 760 yards. The year before he had 784. But that's what he adds on top of his stats, pretty much. 4,500 yard production. But you're also not talking about the 13 touchdowns rushing. You know, all of these. See, when you put it all together, what Jalen Hurts is pretty much producing for his team is about 4,600 yards. Well, yeah, that's all-purpose yards. He's also producing about 35 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. That's literally 7-1 on touchdown to interception ratio. 7-1.
And
I don't think Tua stats. It's not even, to me. It's not even close.
I think, and again, we'll see this year if Tua can stay healthy. I think Tua can easily can however he gets it, whether he do 4,500 passing yards or 4,500 to where he maybe throw 4,400 yards and run for another 100 or whatever. I think he can total 4,500 yards. I think he can total 35 touchdowns, and I think he can keep the interceptions down to single digits. Let's look at it this way. Tua, he threw most interceptions in one game. That one game we had those 3 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he had that many interceptions. Maybe he had like a few more, total after that. But I don't think he had that many more interceptions outside of that 3 interception game.
Well, so you're basically saying that one game kind of like hurt his numbers. In other words, what you're saying.
Yeah, you could say that.
Well, I don't like to use me personally. I don't like to use that as the argument because it goes to the other argument. Then people are gonna say, "Yeah, but he had a 6 touchdown game." You know, that one game alone skewed his numbers. It made him look like without that game, he only throws 19 touchdowns. You see what I'm saying? That's how people would look at it. So, at the end of the day, you got to include it all. But he had 2 interceptions in the Baltimore game, 2 in the San Francisco game, and 3 in the Green Bay. And yeah, he missed the playoff games. Wait, who is? Oh, make sure I ain't missing nothing here. 1, 2. Tua missed 4 games. My bad. So Jalen Hurts also missed 2 games, bro. Jalen Hurts all-purpose yards on pace for over 5,000 yards all-purpose.
I think
touchdowns over 40. What's that?
I think Tua was on pace for about 5,000 yards. He was averaging close to 290 passing yards a game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, probably somewhere. Well, let's see. How many he play? 13, pretty much. Yeah, about 270. Hold on, no, my bad. Yeah, 270. So if he was on pace, he was basically about 1,000 yards short of what he could have put up. 4,500 yards roughly, touchdowns, maybe 32-ish, interceptions, pretty much maybe 11, somewhere around that. So, yeah, I mean, the paces were there. The only thing that's scary about Tua is the fact that which trajectory was he on? You see what I mean? Like early in the season, everything was all glitz and glamour. Later in the season, if he would have put up 2 more of those, that's a problem.
Yeah,
But he's still gonna get the yards though. That's the thing that people need to understand. He's still gonna get the yards. In some of his worst games, he's still gonna get the yards. But that's also in play, and I hate to bring this up, but that's like the Tyreek Hill factor, the Jalen Waddle factor.
yeah. I mean,
I just have a hard time saying, hey, pay the guy now when what like all we're talking about is 5 good games that make you want to go ahead and make him that kind of quarterback. Like literally, that's
it's not like I don't think if they were saying, okay, we're gonna pay him now, but we're gonna pay him like we're paying all these other, the Burrows, the Hilberts, which Hilbert I'm still kind of out on him. You know, I think people are kind of hyping him up after that first rookie year. I think Tua's going to end up having a better career. That's just me.
Well, the thing I know is time always tells, man. I want to go ahead and get to somebody else before I lose everybody. But I appreciate you coming through, Brandon, bro.
Yes, sir, man. All right, you have a good one, boss.
The same, brother. Man, that's what's up, man. CB left the room, so Pete is on the table. What's up, Pete, man?
Hey, TD, thank you for having me up, dude. Happy Father's Day. Awesome, man.
Brother.
Thank you. No, man, I'm just here, and you cooked that guy for a little bit. I'm glad you started bringing some of those points up, but again, we'll leave that to go. First thing I do want to say, TD, by the way, is when I first clicked your stream and I first joined, the first actual words I heard from the guy like 2 guys ago, the first actual words, I'm not making this up, TD. I mean, when I clicked and I came to your page, the first words I actually heard, dude, was Skylar Thompson. I didn't hear what he said. I didn't hear how. I don't know anything. I just know the first exact words that came in through my ears, TD, were Skylar Thompson. And I was like, wow. You see, like, listen, I don't know. You probably said it on your show already, but I just don't know what they're thinking about trying to pay this guy right now, TD. So, there is absolutely nothing in my mind that will sit here and tell me, is he a nice guy? Is he a good face offside the field? Yes. But performances like that I look at, TD, like, I'm looking at this, man. He's already being looked at by the NFL on a microscope. This new NFL style football is moving more towards more mobile style quarterbacks. And I don't know, our Tua the last 2 years has averaged like 100 yards per season. He has 5 rushing fumbles the last 2 seasons. I think all of that comes into play when you're looking to pay a franchise quarterback, especially with the new league being able to throw on the run and make big flashy plays, because that's all you see. Look at Madden that is coming out this season. I saw a commercial yesterday, TD, and you see Mahomes doing a dive pass. Like, I get it, that's backyard football, but this is the type of flash plays that are memorable plays that you're going to want to see. And I don't think Tua has memorable type plays in him. Like, I just don't know. And when I look at the Skylar Thompson, I'm not saying this to be funny, but I honestly believe, TD, you hold your horses on paying Tua. You wait, and if, hey, he balls out, you still have him at a 5th-year option. And if he wants to play hardball, you can also transition tag him, see if we could get 2 first-round draft picks, because the backup quarterback that we currently have, I think he has a tremendous ceiling, TD. I'm not making this up. I honestly believe this guy can do As a passer, everything that they're asking Tua to do in that offense, Skylar can do it if given the opportunity and consistency. And he also gives you a threat with his legs. So you have to wait to see what you have in that quarterback you just drafted that gave you signs. He didn't just come in and, you draft a quarterback in the 7th TD, you cut that guy. You put him on your practice squad because you saw that he didn't give you nothing. There's a reason why we kept that guy.
But Pete, like your entire conversation is like automatically just dismissing the fact that Tua still could prove to be the franchise quarterback.
You know what, TD? I doubt it. You know what? Because it's like the owner don't love him, dude. You're not loved by the owner.
But
you could be liked by the owner. You could like someone, but if you don't love him, you can easily let him go. And I don't think Tua is loved by the actual owner. Now, does Grier want to pay him right now? So maybe try to save his career? Of course. The faster he can pay him, the longer he can survive here. But in all reality, this is my opinion. I don't think the owner really is like flabbered with him. I don't think he truly like loves him. You get me?
Yeah, but I think that he will love him truly if he balls out, which is a possibility, right?
If is almost on every end of his statements. Is like if he lasts the full season, if he balls out. I have more questions. You see, I'm on the side of the fence, TD, that I have more questions on his performance.
Yeah, but
how he was able to carry that offense late into the season than I actually have his health. You know what? If you ask me, TD, I got a feeling that guy, there's a 50-50 chance he plays the full season next year.
I'm an advocate of that as well, Pete. But, playing devil's advocate here to what you're saying, every quarterback, there's a hope. It's not just exclusive to Tua. I know he has a much probability of getting hurt or whatever it may be. But I'm just saying, like, Pete, like sometimes, like, do you not think that there is no chance that Tua comes out this year and has an MVP caliber season? Like that's just totally 100% ain't gonna happen to you.
I gotta be, and you know what? I can't put 100%. I can't. I'm not going to put it at 100%. I can't. Because the schedule actually favors him if he's able to stay healthy late in the season with the weather and stuff like that. He's playing at home late in the season.
The schedule doesn't favor him, Pete. This is a tough schedule this year. It is rough. If he goes out there and he balls out, he would have earned it. Regardless, bro. The first game is the Chargers.
Well, this is all I'm saying, TD. I mean, if he comes out, he does it, then you know what? If he's going to be in that MVP conversation, you want me to tell you how he's going to be in that MVP conversation? If he tucks it and runs it, gives us about 300 yards, because that 300 yards rushing, he only has 300 yards rushing in his career. He needs to do that this upcoming season at a minimum. And that alone will probably give us an additional 3 wins, giving the Dolphins probably a 13-win season. That's how important 300 yards rushing from Tua could be if he runs at the right time. And that's just the way I see it, TD. He needs to be a more mobile. The NFL has gone more mobile in the NFL. And for us to have an injury-prone quarterback and take that away from us, and now we can't have a running quarterback, I feel like you're strapping us down, man. We have us in a straitjacket, TD.
But you don't have to be, like, absolutely have to be, though, Pete. If he does his job within that pocket and does it very well at a high level, you don't necessarily 100% have to be a mobile quarterback. And also, he's not a mobile quarterback. And we've already.
Yeah, he was. He was considered a dual threat quarterback. Remember coming out of college?
No.
How many rushing yards he had at Alabama?
I don't know, but I don't remember him.
Remember all the highlights I saw like a couple years ago? He was running a lot.
Man, I've never known him to be a dual threat, and not even in college. Even if he did it sometimes, I've never looked at him as the guy that was going to go rip 400 yards in a regular season for the NFL, even if he never had the hip injury. I never slated him to be that guy. Tua just needs to do his job in that pocket and do it very well on a consistent basis. And he could, with this talent around him, he could put up an MVP season and get the money and everything. Pete, I'm just asking you, do you not think that that's a possibility?
That's why I feel I'm actually shocked at you, TD, because if you don't think Tua could give us 300 yards, that's only like 17 yards a game rushing. 17 yards?
You stuck on the rushing
I
yards.
think I am. But other than that,
don't forget, we have first of all, listen, we have a quarterback who we don't want to get hurt. So, no, I don't want him to have 300 yards. I don't want him to have 300. What happened?
It's only 17 yards per game.
P, it doesn't matter, bro. At the end of the day, do your job in the pocket and do it well. And that's all that matters, bro. That's all that matters.
That is true. He has the roster to be efficient at it if McDaniel dials up the right plays and calls it,
Let me ask you a question. See, this is where you don't always come with the trick questions, Pete.
Talk to me.
This is where you keep on stressing his rushing yards. How many times in Tom Brady's career did he have over 300 yards rushing yards?
Well, Tom Brady is able to make up with his vision on the field what Tua can't. How many times have you see, the thing is, I think consistently is going to be a problem of him missing receivers at certain spots of the field because maybe he's not mobile enough. He just can't see.
But it is what it is, Pete. We're not even worried about the rushing, and he's still gonna give you a little something. That's not making it seem like he ain't gonna give you nothing. Now, how many times? Just appease me though, Pete. Tom Brady's 20-year, 23, whatever year career. How many times you think he rushed over 300 yards?
I can't recall, TD. I don't remember, man.
Take a guess.
Never. Not in one full season. Now, I don't think he ever ran over 300 yards.
How many times do you think he rushed over 200 yards in the season?
I'm going to say again, never.
Never. How many times do you think he rushed over 125 yards in the season, Pete? We're talking about 8 yards, 9 yards a game, Pete.
But
how many times has he rushed over 110 yards a game, Pete, in his entire career? Take a guess.
None.
Never.
I knew it.
Never.
He's not. He came out slow. He was never considered a dual threat like Tua, though.
Pete, do you want to know how many yards?
And also, you're leaving out TD, the fact that I said the NFL is transitioning more to a more mobile style quarterback. They want mobility from these guys, and we're lacking that in that department. The NFL's going that way.
The NFL isn't transitioning to a more mobile quarterback. You've always had them. The difference is they're impacting the game even more now because they are a lot more dynamic. But there are still pocket passers that are out here playing great football that have the opportunity to help their team win Super Bowls. Now, the mobile guys have been going further lately, but they've also been like ridiculously loaded. I mean, and by the way, just to end off this Tom Brady thing, guess how many rushing yards he averaged per season in his career? Just take a guess.
I'm going to say per season in his career, the entire career, I'm going to say that guy probably averaged like 48 yards per game.
40, Pete, you on him 48.8 yards a game.
No way.
Yes, 48.8. You know what? You're a genius. My wife
dude, I promised the whole world I just literally guessed that right there. I swear on everything. And that's crazy to me. But that's just the style of quarterback he is. He's not gonna run. He's gonna try to do those quarterback sneaks. That's one thing he does do that we can't do. Now, we haven't seen Tua. We can't put Tua in a quarterback sneak.
All right,
you're gonna pay that guy?
Sorry, my wife just came in here and crawled on the floor with all four of my sons.
Shout out to the family, man. I know you got people backstage. TD, I love you. I appreciate you having me up.
Nah, thanks, Pete, man. Not Pete, but let's get something straight. Don't get me wrong. I understand what you're saying. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, like, because it's like
I know
every
you
time
do.
I hear you shut the door shut. Now there's still chance. Pete.
I do feel very confident in both situations, though, TD. I think Skylar's gonna replicate last season, dude. Like, it's just something internally I feel. Like, I honestly feel that he's just going to win the job, dude. Like, again, I'm just going to say this. I think if you could do as much as you could do with Tua and Skylar in that same offense. But Skylar's going to give you that mobility. He gives you that better arm. He gives you that better field vision. I think he's just going to outright earn it. That's why they're going to more than likely. Look, this is all I'm saying, TD. I think we struck gold with that guy. And that's what's going to save Grier's career. Honestly, I truly believe that.
Time always tells, right?
It will, and we're just gonna go right again to the playoffs, and when we get to the playoffs, TD, it's any given Sunday. It's any given Sunday.
I agree with you on that. I appreciate you, Pete.
Appreciate you, TD. Have a blessed day. Talk to
Thank
you
you,
later. Bye.
brother. Hey, get one of them scratch offs for me, baby.
I'll be back on that.
All right.
Peace.
Listen, let me be clear with y'all about something, especially with this Skylar Thompson. Let me address this Skylar Thompson thing. Okay. I like Skylar Thompson. I think Skylar Thompson has talent that needs to be developed, and I believe he could be a low-end starter in the NFL. I actually do, like, shock people, like that Nick Foles type. You know, it don't mean they're gonna have a long, good career, but maybe come in and do something special. But I am a stickler on when you get your shot, regardless of the circumstance, you gotta own it. Unfortunately, I don't care. Like, don't get me wrong. When I'm just talking about real analysis, yeah, some guys drop some balls for him and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You gotta complete it. Like, do some of y'all realize if Skylar would have won that first playoff game versus Buffalo, some of these conversations would be slightly different? Imagine going to another round and actually beating another team. Well, you know, whatever. I don't know. But when you get your shot, whether it's your fault or not, it is what it is. The cards didn't fall in your favor, but you needed them to. You needed them to. So I understand, hey, he never had a game with Teron Armstead or never blah. I get it, but it doesn't matter. You got to come in and be the legend. You got to come in and figure out a way to get the troops around you to be their best. It is what it is. And you'll get more opportunities. But again, you gotta come in and be in things. This is where a little luck has to come into play too. This is where a little luck has to come into play. So again, I like Skylar, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm on Twitter, then Skylar's the best quarterback on the roster. You know, that really messed with certain people's brain for some reason. But that's my honest take on it. Anyway, I'm gonna shift gears in this conversation real quick because I'll just end the Tua contract. What I was told by this, because I'm actually shocked. You know, there's a lot of people that said pay him, even if it's at a discount. I'm a little shocked, but I'll say this. Whatever decision's made, it has to work. Whatever decision is made, it has to work. Whether we believe the decision should be made or not, it just has to work. So this definitely shocked me just even hearing it. But at the same token, whatever decision this organization makes, it just has to work. We're tired of failed decisions. We're tired of failed decisions. We are tired of failed decisions. Okay. If I want to pick up where we left off earlier today with the super chat, y'all had some amazing questions. I'm gonna go ahead and answer those questions. Before we do, I want to say shout out to the homie One King Cat, and again shout out to Barrington Francis, our newest member, been rocking with us for a long time. Salute to you, homie. One King Cat said you should not pay big/extended money to a skill position purely based on what you hope they can do. They had to have shown you that they can achieve what very little others can. Go Jets. I agree with that, but at the same token, that's the issue. It's the real issue here is nothing was really shown yet. That's the thing. But I don't think that they're going to extend this man this offseason. I don't think so at all. I think that they're just talking about how it would look if they did. What type of relief would that provide? Because what people aren't talking about, we have some extensions right now that have to get done, and Chris Grier scratching his head because he knows he can afford them, but then he's screwed next year to where he really is going to have to let go some of the most valuable players, or he has to make some tough decisions. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, y'all will be shocked at how many people could be valuable trade options right now. Zealer could be traded. Connor Williams could get traded. Christian Wilkins could get traded. Ogba, but I don't think they can get off of that contract. Jerome Baker. Brandon Jones. Trill Williams just got cleared. These are all guys who could be traded between now and September. Real talk. One way or another. And trust me, the Dolphins are trying to figure out ways to make moves. We're a little heavy right now, and people don't understand that. We are definitely a little heavy right now. So, all right, let's pick up where we left off earlier today, because I definitely want to finish your questions. Hey, Peyton, you can close the door for me. Thank you. All right, my bad, y'all. Let's pick up where we left off earlier. So the last question we left off on was Tua works out, what position do we draft in the first round next year? Wow, huge question. Y'all answer this for me in the comment section. Tua's an MVP this year. Okay. What position do we draft in the first round next year at number 32? Think about that. What position do we draft at number 32? Let me know. My bad, Joe. I want y'all to pay attention to the comment section right now. Do y'all see something happening? Do y'all see what's happening in the comment section? That's the problem with this organization. Look at the freaking comment section right now. Look at the freaking comment section right now. That's the issue we have with this organization. That's how screwed up Chris Grier got us right now. I asked y'all, who do we draft in the first round? And I done seen 10 different positions on the field, on the screen. See what I'm talking about? That's why I love this question. When you asked it earlier, it really woke me up, because this is one of the main issues I have. You got people saying O-line, right tackle, left guard. You got people saying wide receiver. You got people talking about tight end. You got linebacker. You got another corner, defensive ends. That's the issue with this roster. Over the next 2 years, the Miami Dolphins got to find Tyreek Hill's replacement, because he only got max 2 years left on that contract. They ain't finna go in the year 4. And you want to draft a replacement a year before you need them to be the replacement. You need the replacement for Teron Armstead. You already still ain't got a right tackle working out. You still ain't got a left guard working out. We don't know what you about to do with Connor. You ain't got no tight end you love. Yeah, you just got one in the building, but will it work out? We talk about a receiver turned tight end receiver. You know, his body size is stuck in the middle. We out here scratching our head about the linebacker position, especially with David Long tweaking his injury recently, which is a huge blow, might I add. Yeah, how much longer you think Xavier Howard gonna be on the boundary, y'all? How much longer? It's a lot of areas. And that's one of the main issues with this team for the future. We're going to have to hit on our first, second, third, fourth round picks just to make up for the losses that we're going to incur after 2 years from now. Everybody I just named to you, there's a high probability of about 80% or more they will not be on this roster 3 years from now. Everybody I just named, high probability they won't be on this roster 3 years from now. 2 more seasons. And I named to you about 9 people. And out of the 9 people I named to you, about 7 of them are our official starters that's actually really good. So you got 2 drafts to replace 9 people as starters. Even if you hit on your first round picks and your second round picks, even if you hit on them, you need your third and fourth round picks to hit just to make up for it. And the crazy thing about it is whoever you bring in, even if you hit, what's the likelihood they're going to be as good as the person they were replacing? Even if you hit at wide receiver, what is the probability that that good wide receiver that you hit on is as good as Tyreek? What's the probability of the left tackle that you hit on is as good as Teron Armstead, Xavier Howard, Connor Williams? What's the probability? That's the scary part. Even if you were to hit at a high probability in the draft, are you going to find another Tyreek Hill? Are you going to find another Teron Armstead? We're talking about guys who are going to the Hall of Fame. At least I believe they are. Tyreek definitely. Armstead should, right? Am I off? I ain't tripping. That's the tough part about this roster. And I'm going to be honest with y'all, me personally, it's the part of this roster that absolutely terrifies me. You know why? Because right now, Tua got everything to his disposal. When those guys are gone, do we go back down to earth again? Do we go back down to earth again? Because you ain't going to be able to trade and get Hall of Famers when you're paying your next generation like Jalen Phillips, Javon Holland, when you're Christian Wilkins, when you're paying that next generation. See, this is what people don't understand. The money that guys like Tyreek, Armstead, Xavier Howard, the money that they have right now, that's the future money for Christian Wilkins, Jalen Phillips, and Jalen Waddle. That's their money. The only reason we have money to give Tyreek, Armstead, and X is because Phillips, Wilkins and Waddle are making pennies compared to what they should be making. People think that, oh, but when we get rid of Tyreek, just go out and spend money on the next best receiver that's out there. No, Waddle got to get his now. Jalen Phillips got to get his now. Holland got to get it. Wilkins got to get his. Even Holland got to get his. It ain't a case where, oh, well, Tyreek ain't here no more, so let's just go spend money on Tyreek again. No, that $30 million for Tyreek, Waddle's going to be about 27. And the market might even be greater next year. But I put it around 27. You saw who's better, Waddle or Christian Kirk? Who's better? Who's better, Waddle or Christian Kirk? Make sure I ain't tripping here. Let me know in the comment section. Make sure I ain't tripping. Because it was real interesting. See, people forgot why the wide receiver money went crazy. Christian Kirk started this crap. Christian Kirk ain't no Tyreek or nothing, and he got $18 million a year average. When he got that, oh my gosh, there was receivers out there like, I gotta be 25. And then when you had people getting 25, were like Tyreek, like, what, man? Then Tyreek got 30. Now you got these guys out here talking 31, 32. Christian Kirk is the reason his wide receiving core going nuts. Because Jacksonville gave him all that money. You would ask me, anybody would have asked me, yeah, Christian Kirk will sign like a 3-year deal, maybe for about, if he lucky, 40 million. If he lucky, 13 a year, and that's a lot. I would give him 4-year, 39, somewhere like 9 million a year. This man punched 18. And when that happened, I was shocked. I was like, what? What does that mean out here? Good thing we ain't got to pay no receiver anytime soon. And there we go, trade it for Tyreek. I'm like, oh, Lord, Tyreek about to get 25, 30. Oh, man. Oh, man, I'll never forget it. Oh, Captain Swole said, I could tell TD studied the NFL salary cap trends. Absolutely. I follow it all. Any player I talk about, I go look at the money first. And I go look what like-minded players make as well, just to see where the market really is. I'm really over here like, I got to see this Christian Wilkins deal. Because I'm going to tell you now, Christian Wilkins is worth every bit of about 15, 16 million, but I can see 22 in the future. Just because every year it never fails to shock me. A normalized, stabilized league, Christian Wilkins need to go and get his 16 million a year. But the way the league has been, man, Grier over here scratching his head about 22 right now. And know he got to do it. And Grier's being honest with himself. And Grier's saying, man, 22 million for a run stopper. I ain't gonna say nothing bad about it, but for a run stopper, I go give me a run stopper for 6 million. 22 million for a run. No, I drafted him. Like, oh man, I drafted a run stopper. And now I gotta pay him. But he good for the community, and he's a high energy guy. He never gives up on plays. That's worth something, But run stopper, man. Wilkins ain't worth no 22. Hey, you ain't preaching. I know. But I'm telling you what's going on out here. You never know. I'll be relieved if it's 18 and be like, that's still a lot, but I'll be relieved. Y'all forgot what Jerome Baker got. That shocked me. You remember what they gave Jerome Baker? Y'all remember? Man. We have leverage because of Wilkins' sack numbers. No, you don't. Let me tell you why you don't have leverage. Number one, you drafted him. And ain't win nothing since you drafted him. So far, his value has done nothing because he hasn't contributed to a Super Bowl. He hasn't contributed to a playoff win. Not his fault, but you can't draft a guy with a first-round pick. And he one of the few of your first-round picks that's actually at least holding his own and playing good. And you don't even sign him. And now you have to find another replacement that probably won't even be as good or dated, older. Oh, you on the hook. Miami's on the hook. It's just the look. Chris Grier already failing at all them other picks. Not signing Wilkins, failing on one that's failing on one that actually played well. We're on the hook. A whole first-round pick. And in 4 years of that first-round pick, you ain't winning nothing. Not a playoff game. You're on the hook. TD more stingy with the money than Stephen Ross is. Well, I mean, have I been wrong, though? I've been real stingy talking about Xavier Howard for 4 years. Where it got us? What has it gotten us? Man, it's time to start having this conversation about Xavier Howard like we have about Tua. If you want to be fair, Tua shouldn't be the only one out here talking about injuries. We need to talk about now, mind you, Xavier Howard at least on the field playing through it, but he probably better off not on the field. He was absolute bad. He was bad last year. This is the reason he said this is why the Dolphins don't keep the players they draft. The fans never want to pay the other talent because they holding out on a star QB to fall in their lap. I see what you're saying there. I just feel like I personally feel like we don't keep the players that we draft because we never build a team or hit on enough picks that's conducive to put a nucleus together with them that'll be successful. We never do. Y'all give me a second. Sorry, y'all. Just telling the wife something. But that's what I think it is. We never build a team around. Y'all got to understand, like the Dolphins traditionally have always tried. We overpay non-stars, and that's what ruined us. We overpay the non-stars. You can look at our roster right now, and I probably can find about $30 million that shouldn't be on it. I can find $30 million that shouldn't be on it. Watch this. Let's start here. We're going to start with number 1, Emmanuel Ogbah. You got Jalen Phillips and Chubb. And Emmanuel Ogbah this year is going to be $17 million. $17 million. We already know Cedric Wilson getting $7 million. That puts you at about 24, 25 million right there. Cedric Wilson. And last, Jerome Baker, who coming off of his best year, by the way. But I don't know how conducive that is in a Fangio system. But this year, Jerome Baker, $12.5 million. And next year, he'll be $14 million with a $5 million dead cap. They're going to move on. They're not going to pay him no $15 million next year. And they done already restructured his contract. He got voidable years all the way out to 2026. His contract's supposed to be over in 24. So then he ain't gonna be. Jerome Baker shouldn't. It's not likely for him to be on the team next year. They can save $10 million by cutting him next year, or trading him. That's an option too. But I tell you now, that's almost. Man, I was wrong. That ain't 30 million. That's almost 40 million right there. I named 3 players and we got 40 million right there. So just so you know, even though we're negative 50 million next year, that's 40 of it right there that's coming off the books. So now we're negative 10. But the number is going to go up because Christian Wilkins is going to save us money with his extension this year, but it'll go up next year. Connor will save us money with his extension this year, but it'll go up next year. But there's a lot of other players. Zeeler, what's going to happen with that? It's a lot of guys. Also, Xavier Howard. That's one as well. I don't know if they'll move on from him next year, but he will be a candidate. He will be a candidate. Never mind. They restructured his contract too much. They restructured his contract way too much. Yeah. I mean, they could move on from X next year. The problem with that is they'd have $27 million in dead cap for 4 years. So basically, they have $7 million of dead cap each year for the next 4 years. Something they can eat if they want instead of paying $26 million. This year, he's only a $10 million cap hit because they pushed his money out. They built this team for 2 years. So, yeah. If Tua works out, what position do we draft in the first round? The answer is best player available. And you still won't go wrong, regardless of the position. Because even in our most solidified positions, they won't be solidified in 2 years, including wide receiver and corner. Where will Tua rank at the end of the season? It's a great question. Of course, we don't know. But I'm going to be more on the optimistic side on this. There's no way he could screw this up. And that's why I'm just like, if he screws this up, it's going to be the biggest debacle ever. Tua ends number 8 in the NFL this year in quarterback ranking. Somewhere around number 8. 8th. I just don't know how you mess up this type of talent around you. And you're a second year in this system. I don't know how you can mess this up. And if he does, it's just that much worse. You can't just go out, play great football, do it consistently. The optimistic puts him at eighth at best. Pessimistic, 24th. Because he's either going to light it up or straight fall on his face. I don't see in between this year. Too many strong opponents on the roster this year. The Washington defense, nasty. The Jets twice, nasty. The way the Patriots play us twice, nasty. Chargers, until we figure that out and change what happened last year, issue. Tennessee, still Vrabel in the same defense. Matter of fact, according to him, he feel like they've upgraded and got a better, well-rounded defense this year. The way Dallas plays defense is terrifying to me. Cover 2 shell, they're not going to break it, but they also going to let them guys get up in your face. They're going to be physical. That's an issue. Who else do we play? I ain't worrying about the Chiefs defense. Even though they be a top defense every year, I don't know how. I just never concern myself with them. Buffalo, I never concern myself with them because they stupid. They just rather play shootouts. But that's 8 teams right there, half of your season. That's pretty tough, the way they play defense. There's more. I'm just not thinking about it. Ain't coming to me. The Eagles. That'll be a tough one. That's 9. Let me look at our schedule one more time. Let me check it out one more time. Denver, that's 10. Ravens, that's 11. Denver is the sleeper team this year that I'm really concerned about. But the Ravens, that's 11. This is their revenge game. If you want to be real fair and honest, they absolutely dominated us at first on defense. Got 2 picks, was making Tua look really bad. Then all of a sudden, just stupidity at its finest started to happen right in our face. So that's 11 games. That's 11 games where the type of defenses that we'll be going up against just ain't a pushover. They ain't going to be running the Lions and the Bears zone and wide open gaps in the zone where Waddle and Tyreek just flying through all day. It's not what you're going to get. It's not what you're going to get. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. 11 of the 11 games in 6 games where I'm not concerned about. So the games I'm not concerned about, in the Giants. But I'm gonna be honest with you, the Giants are one of the only teams that I don't know much about. I don't follow them. I don't look at their stuff. I don't evaluate them. They're one of the rare teams in the NFL that I don't ever check into or look into. And they might have a great defense. Y'all got to tell me. I don't know. So I'm automatically just saying I'm not worried about them, but some of y'all might be shocked that the Washington Commanders had the number 3 defense last year. And the way they play defense, trust me, it's trouble for us. The way they play defense. Some of y'all may have not have known that about Washington last year. Their bread and butter was their defense. But I don't know anything about the Giants. So I don't know if I need to add them to an issue. Y'all have to tell me. Carolina, I don't know much about their defense either. Giants good defense? Well, I mean, that could be a 12 team. I don't know to where I can be convicted to say we're going to struggle because I don't know what style of defense. You could be a good defense, but I'm talking about the style of defense you play that I know our quarterback struggles with. We got 11 of them games this year. And he got to figure out a way to go about 7-4 in those games. You ain't got to win them all, but you got to figure out a way to go about 7-4 in those games. Can't be no 5-6 or 6-5. Got to figure out a way to get by 7 of them because you're going to need the other 6. Also, Chiefs, I didn't have them on there. I'm not concerned about them. Raiders, I'm not concerned about them. And I don't know. And that's it. In Buffalo, I'm never concerned about them because they, for some reason, they never game plan. They just stay in their shell, and it's a weak one. Bend but don't break, and hopefully they outscore you. That's how they operate. Panthers are very zone-based defense. AB said it was the zone defenses that gave him trouble. Nah, people need to really evaluate the type of defenses that Tua struggle with. So it can be man and zone, but people need to understand what that looks like. A lot of times what it is pre-snap getting one look and then post-snap switching into another. Also, you got the back end man, the front end zone. I mean, it's different looks like that gets him in trouble. So you might have a guy who's jamming Tyreek man to man, but they're actually shelling and zoning the other side of the field. So what happens is he's looking at Tyreek man to man the whole time. But on paper, he struggled in that zone coverage. You see what I'm saying? That's what happens a lot of times when you really watch the film. You'll get that type of action. Man coverage on one side of the field, zone on the other, and they trying to man up the best guy, but with a little bit of help over the top. And he's staring it down, and then if it don't work out, the play goes down his zone. Because you had primarily zone on the other side, and there was maybe one guy on one side. Vrabel. If you look at Vrabel ain't running man. He running zone, but he also bumping you at the line of scrimmage in that zone. Bump and run, guy backs up in his area. You see what I'm saying? So it's not a case. See, what Vrabel did is he took away that short stuff, them quick slants and stuff. He bumped you at the line of scrimmage. Also, you don't want to throw it right away because it's so congested. Everybody's up front, but then after you're backing up the throw, everybody's backing out, and they're just moving back with the receivers, and it's like nothing's becoming clear. But when you run a stationary zone where you're 5-yard cushion and this is your area, it's clear when you hike the ball because receivers are just running wild and those guys are staying put trying to react to you. But Tua struggles when you actually run zone and you're up in the guy's face and you put your hands on him and then everybody's moving to their spots because he don't know if that moving to their spot is man or zone, which makes him hesitate on his throws, which disrupts the timing. That's the best defense against him. And then you have the other teams that play great defense against him where it's just man-to-man bump and run, but send the extra pressure. Make him get rid of it quick, but take away everything quick. He going to have to be Mahomes. He going to have to extend plays. He going to have to be a superstar. And we don't see that in him. We don't see that in him. Captain Swole said match zone is what you're referring to, TD. No, that's a third one, match zone, where it looks like it's clear to him because guys are running free, but once you get in a guy's area, they go with you. They match you. They go with you. He thinking they're going to keep running free, so he's anticipating, not knowing, okay, he's going to dedicatedly follow him. That's the third way. So it's always the thing that makes him I don't know the difference if this man is on. And if it's just straight up man, they sending pressure, I got to get rid of it quick, but they taking away all the short stuff. So Tua is the guy that play action, give him a pocket, and hopefully Tyreek stretches the defense and go put the ball up. Go put the ball up. And let the receivers make a play. Let the receivers make a play. Because I showed y'all, we replayed the Lions game on this channel. We looked at the Bears game. We looked at the Browns game. Most of the time, cover 2 shell. Linebackers with no depth. And Tyreek Waddle and all of them getting right behind them, free as a bird. And he's just putting it in the spot, and they catching it and running it, and it's just so easy. It was no resistance. In those games, there was just no resistance. No confusion. Everything was it was easy to read in those games. But it's about when they don't make it easy to read. And this NFL has enough film on this team now to know what their tendencies are and what they like to do. They're going to try to come out this year with more wrinkles, but they also know the strengths and weaknesses. And ever since that Chargers game, the NFL knows we got to put our hands on these receivers. Either jam them, and if we can't jam them because they're in motion, as soon as they get by that 5-yard marker, linebacker, you better hit the heck out of them. Knock them off their spot. So when that ball's still traveling on the way to that spot, the receiver a half second later, and they like, just too far. We saw a lot of that. We saw some of that this season where the pass was just out of the range. And we're blaming Tua, and we shouldn't be, because the linebacker just knocked the receiver off. If he never knocked him off, he would have been right in the right spot. Tua gonna put it right in that spot, man. He puts it right in that spot. But I don't like that. That's why when they show them videos with the nets, with the 3 holes, and he just hitting it, man, how about you get that net, put some wheels on it, and run across the field and let him start working on hitting it while it's running. Delay it at the beginning and then go. See if he's actually anticipating and real math in his head. This is where it should end up. Let me put it there. No, because that ain't what's happening. He's putting it in the practice spot. And that's when you got that it factor as a quarterback. It don't matter if you got bumped at the line of scrimmage. I see you not going to end up in the spot that we've practiced. I see you going to be a little late. So let me hold the ball a little longer, or let me throw it a little shorter from where I would have. Real time, you got to make them decisions and calculate it. That's where, if he could do that, unstoppable. Unstoppable. So that's what I believe. All right, y'all. The kids, I'm gonna finish this list tomorrow. The kids waiting on me. They want to have a little game night. They've been having enough fun out there, but they've come calling. So I'm gonna get out here and enjoy some time with the babies and the whole family. Beat up on them in some tunk, some spades. You know, that's how we do it up in here. You know, all of us at the table. So love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Kiss and love on your loved ones. This has been an interesting stream. Definitely opening my eyes. But I'm glad to rock with y'all, and I'm glad y'all rock with me. Tomorrow we'll be back at it. I'll finish up these questions that you all asked. And then I'll get some more from you and answer those as well. Fins up no matter what. Love you guys. Family time. Peace. I am out. Stay safe.